Belgrade Beat on the streets of Albania today. So today I am driving down the street just outside of Tirana, Albania, and I decided to post this on my Belgrade Beat channel because I think it's interesting to document the region as well on this channel, and that lots of Serbian people would like to know, what do I think of Albania? Is it nice here for me? So on and so forth. It's no secret there's a lot of animosity between Serbs and Albanians, especially around the Kosovo region, and yep, I don't really feel that it's a problem. I'm driving a Serbian rental car right now. Nobody's honking at me or making rude gestures at me or anything like that. So what else? It's got a vibe. I was expecting it to be a little bit more Islamic, but it doesn't really have that vibe much in the same way that a place like Turkey does. The vibe that it has is like somehow, yeah, sort of like bit like Greek vibe, bit like Italian vibe, bit like Balkan Serbian vibe, whatever. And yeah, not very Islamic. You don't see many women in headscarves. You don't see many people looking Muslim. Like last month, I actually went to, I haven't posted these videos yet, but I went to Novi Pazar in Serbia, and that is a really sort of Muslim place where Muslim stuff is very visible. Whereas here in Albania, it's just another post-communist sort of vibe. What the heck is that? I'll just show you guys. Like, some sort of palace. I don't know who built that, what the hell it is. I am just driving. Anyways, so yeah, why did I come to Albania? Because there's no PCR test required, no quarantine coming from Serbia. I drove through Montenegro, easy peasy border crossing, everything was fine, and that is quite an interesting palace. Anyways, nobody gives a fuck about coronavirus here. Nothing. Like, people don't wear masks, and strangely enough, there's a government quarantine every night where you have to stay in your house every night after like 10 or 11 p.m. I heard it's changing tomorrow or something to 11 p.m. Makes no sense. Nobody wears masks. You can walk in the supermarket without a mask, just like the good old days back in, the world, before everybody was wearing masks inside every establishment you go to. The people here working in the establishments usually aren't wearing masks. Sometimes you do see like maybe a big chain store has its employees in masks, but people don't really seem to give a shit. And it's really refreshing because, like, enough already. It's been a year, we haven't died. Places like this where people aren't wearing masks don't really have noticeably different laws, noticeably different virus infection rates. Like if you look at the US, places like Florida and California have the same rate, and Texas, all about the same rate of infection there. So it's like, enough already with the masks. Do they help? Maybe a bit. Yeah, probably a little bit, but even on the packages it says like, yeah, they don't help against viruses. It's probably true. And coronavirus is gonna get you if you are afraid. I know lots of people have had it now, so it's time to just get on with your life. And basically, this is awesome. It's awesome because it's a country that's, off the beaten tourist map, and I feel like, what do I feel like? Coronavirus got rid of a lot of the really silly tourists that you always used to see everywhere, traveling en masse with their silly little cameras and doing their silly little tours, walking around the historical monuments of the city. And, those types of people are nowhere to be found anymore, especially in Albania. And congratulations for Albania for being one of the last countries standing on the, I always look at this IATA map of the world. And basically it's like, now, back last year you had like, you had Brazil, you had Turkey, you had Serbia, where you could enter without a PCR test or anything like that, no requirements, no abnormal requirements. But now it's pretty much Mexico, Albania, and Macedonia. So 2 countries around here. And for, Balkan travelers, you can go to Montenegro as well. And coming back from Albania into Serbia, apparently you don't need a test either. So, just enough already. I do kind of support the PCR test to enter countries, or at least fly on a plane. Like, don't you want to know that the people sitting next to you have been tested and aren't infected, the day before the flight? It's a pretty good idea. But, in Serbia, it's pretty costly to get that test. It's like 9,000 dinars. It used to be more than that for foreigners, but they raised, now foreigners pay the same price in Serbia. So I was going to go to Kyrgyzstan, but I decided to rent a car and drive to Albania instead. I went through Podgorica, Montenegro on the way here, and nothing to see there, folks. If my left ass cheek was a country, that it would have a similar capital. I don't know. That's some silly joke I made up. But anyways, Podgorica, I slept there for a night. Didn't actually get to the Montenegro seaside. Montenegro is all about the seaside, folks. Maybe something about the mountains. I was going to stop in Durmitor, but I ended up on a different road. Yeah. But the reason I like road trips is because I can take my guitar with me without arguing with airline staff. And I can take my food, my blender, fitness stuff, and just basically have a smoother transition of lifestyle. And flying these days is miserable, so that's why I didn't want to get a PCR test, get on a plane, change planes in Turkey, and go to Kyrgyzstan. Even though I did want to see a place where people look like East Asians and speak Russian. That sounded interesting to me, to see where the Slavic world ends, essentially, because apparently in Kyrgyzstan they speak Russian. But here I am in Albania. I did sit down with two guys from Kosovo yesterday. What was interesting was that one of them was in his 20s. He was like about 25. One of them was in his 30s. He was about 35 or something. The one in his 30s spoke Serbian, but not English. All right. Of course, he speaks Albanian as his first language. He spoke Serbian, but not English. And of course, the 25-year-old guy didn't speak Serbian, but he spoke English really well. And yeah, whatever. And then there was this Dutch guy. This is a couch surfing hangout that I went to. There was this Dutch guy who spoke German and Dutch and English, of course. So I had to have conversations with the one Albanian guy from Kosovo in Serbian, while the others, and talk in English with the other people, and a bit of German with the Dutch guy. Basically, I pretty much just speak German when I have to prove that I speak it, and show off my funny Slavic Bavarian accent or whatever it is. Yeah. There was one comment which was asking me to speak German. Yeah, because I spoke Serbian in one video with Liz. And they told me that I should speak German in a video. Ja, ich kann das machen, aber warum würde ich auf Deutsch reden? Echt, was macht es? Es macht nichts. Es ist nicht wichtig, dass wie viele Leute wissen die deutsche Sprache? Nicht so viel. Und ich weiß nur, weil meine Familie, aber es gefällt mir nicht. Es gefällt mir nicht, warum? Ich weiß nicht. English is a much more nuanced language than German. I mean, yeah. And then there's talking in the German accent in English, yeah, which I think is very funny, yeah. And it can piss a lot of people off, yeah, when I speak with the German accent in English, yeah. I suppose my accent is more like, I don't know, it's weird. I have an weird accent in any language that I speak. Like, when I speak Serbian, you can hear, I guess, Germanic and English-speaking influences. When I speak English, you can hear some Slavic influences and German influences. And when I speak in German, you can definitely hear some Slavic influences and some English. influences. So yeah, whatever. But yeah, it was fun talking in Serbian with the guy from Kosovo. No issue whatsoever. Everybody really hates what happened there. It sucks. Who knows? It's just one of those like things, you know? And you have to always realize it's a very small segment of the population who actually hates other nations and wants to kill them and all that sort of stuff. You know, very small sector of the Albanians want to, you know, have any hatred towards Serbs. A very small sector of the population have, Serbian population have hatred towards Croatians, Bosnians, Albanians, whatever. It is what it is. And but there are like sort of racial and ethnic stereotypes that pervade a larger proportion of the population. But, you know, about don't go to Serbia, it's dangerous. Don't go to Albania, it's dangerous. Don't go to Kosovo, don't go to insert country. And then you go and it's always fine, you know? Relatively fine, you know? I mean, Latin America and South Africa, those are the places that I actually go, that I've been, that are actually dangerous. The Balkans, no, it's not dangerous, especially not as like some, you know, like Canadian dude. But, you know, Latin America, South Africa, yeah, it's sketchy walking down the street in those places, and you need to know how to carry yourself so people don't fuck with you. And luckily I have that type of face that people don't want to fuck with me, so yeah, but no issue here. No issue here. Nice, a little bit more rundown than Serbia. So is Montenegro. From what I saw, Montenegro reminds me of Serbia like 10 years ago a bit. You know, the slower customer service, the less modernized cafes and restaurants, I don't know. I'm gonna go back to Montenegro, so I'll make another video of that. Maybe I'll make another video on the Albanian seaside, because that's somewhere where Serbian people might want to actually go for a holiday. If, you know, Greece requires a vaccination certificate or a PCR test and Albania doesn't, and it's cheaper than Montenegro, which it seems to be, then maybe Albania is where some of you people want to go for your summer holidays. So I'll let you know. Thanks for watching Belgrade Beat. It's been a pleasure. Hope you enjoyed watching me drive and hearing my random little thoughts about my Balkan road trip. Catch you guys later. Ciao.